Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Genius Knowledge Point, your go-to place for practical programming solutions for diploma, computer and IT students. If you are stuck on any practical assignment or just want to learn how to solve programs step by step, then you are in the right place. The main purpose of making this video is to provide practical knowledge to all diploma students so that they can develop their own programs which will be helpful for their future. In this video we are going to see next practical, that is practical number 14 of object oriented programming, which is under Diploma Computer and IT third semester, and it is for case key. So this practical is regarding write a programs to implement virtual base class. So in this practical we have to use the virtual base class. So before going to the question, we have to see what is a virtual base class. So moving to the diagram, suppose we have one class as a master, and it is having some data members as a name and code, and inside that there is one function which is display function, and after that I am inheriting this master class into two more classes, that is account and admin. So whenever I am inheriting the master class into account, it will inherit the properties of master class, that is name, code and display function will be there. So inside account we have name, code and display function, and again we are inheriting the same class into another class, that is admin class. Again it will be having name, code and display function. So the account class as well as admin class is having master class properties. Then after that what I am doing, I am inheriting the account class as well as admin class into one more class, that is employee class. So what will happen, the employee class will be having properties of account class as well as admin class. So inside account we have already seen that there is a name, code and display function present, as well as in the admin also the name, code and display function is present. But when I am inheriting both the classes, that is account and admin, into employee class, it is inheriting the same name, code and display function from account as well as admin. So what will happen, at employee class we will have two copies of name, code and display function. So it creates a problem when we do the programming. So this is called ambiguity problem. So when we are inheriting using multiple inheritors, so if you see the account, admin and employee class, this structure is called multiple inheritors. We have seen in the previous practical. So whenever we are doing multiple inheritors, if we have the same name of methods or attributes, so what will happen, it will create ambiguity problem, because it is copying or it is creating multiple copies of same data member as well as member functions. So this ambiguity problem we have to avoid. So for that purpose, what we do, while inheriting account and admin from master class, we will use virtual base class method. So while inheriting into account as well as admin class, what we do, we will inherit it using virtual keyword. So what will happen, instead of multiple copies, the employee class will have only single copy of attributes of master class. So this is how the virtual base class concept is used in the programming. So if you see, the structure will be like this. We will be having the name, code and display function directly from the base class, because we will be inheriting single copy of that attributes as well as function. So this is called a virtual base class concept. So let us move to the question. So if you see, the first question is given as write a C++ program to implement the concept of virtual base class for following figure, assume suitable data and function members. So the structure is given, that is only class names are given, data members as well as member functions are not given, so we have to assume that. So there is a one class, that is cricketer, which is inherited into two classes, bowler and batsman. So the bowler and batsman will be having properties of cricketer. Then again those two classes are inherited into all-rounder class. So what will happen here, we are seeing the multiple inheritance, and again bowler and batsman will be having cricketer properties. So the all-rounder will have two copies of cricketer attributes. So that creates ambiguity problem, and that we have to solve using virtual base class. So let us move to the coding part and see how to create virtual base class. So initially we have to include both the header files. Then I am creating class cricketer. So inside that I am taking name as a array of characters, that is string value. Then inside public section I am defining a method, that is accept method, and accepting the name value using message. Then displaying the name value using cout and attachment of variable. So the accept and display functions are to accept the data and display the data for cricketer. And finally the cricketer class is closed. Now I am inheriting that cricketer class into bowler class, but while inheriting the cricketer I am using concept of virtual base class. So this is how I am inheriting, that is class bowler, then colon. So instead of directly writing public cricketer, I am attaching one more keyword, that is virtual public cricketer. So this will identify that I am inheriting the cricketer class virtually into bowler class. So this is how the virtual base class is done inside the coding part. So inside bowler I am taking public section and taking one variable as a wickets. Then designing a method to get the details of bowler. So get bowler is the method. Then inside that I am entering message, enter wickets of bowler. Then using scene accepting the wickets. Then put bowler method is there to display the wickets value. So this is how the data is accepted and data is displayed here for bowler object. Then finally the class is closed. Next I am defining the batsman class, that is class batsman colon. Again I am inheriting it virtually, so virtual public cricketer. So again I am inheriting the cricketer class into batsman class, but I am using virtual keywords, so it will be inherited as a virtual base class. Then after that inside the public section I am creating a variable, that is runs. Then creating method to get runs, so the method is void get runs. Then entering a message to enter sports score and accepting the runs value. Similarly one more method is there to put the runs value, that is sports score as runs value will be displayed. Then both the methods are closed and the class is closed. Now it is time to inherit both the classes, that is bowler class and batsman class, into one more class as given in the diagram. So bowler class is there, batsman class is there, and it is inherited into all-rounder. So I am creating one more class as all-rounder and inheriting it as public bowler comma public batsman. So this is multiple inheritance. So all the properties of bowler and batsman will be inherited into all-rounder, but while inheriting we have used the virtual base class concept. So only one copy of the base classes parameters, that is variables as well as functions, will be inherited here. So this is how we are inheriting the class concept, that is virtual class concept, into all-rounder. So inside public section I am taking a method as put all-rounder. So this method will be displaying the number of wickets and runs. So that is inherited from bowler and batsman. So the data will be displayed here. So this is how the all-rounder class is complete. Finally going to main function, that is int main, creating object of all-rounder, that is the class which is inheriting all the upper classes. So all-rounder R is the object. Then calling the r.accept method. So as we have inherited the accept method from our virtual base class, that is cricketer, so the accept method will be accepting name. Then I am calling second method, that is r.getBowler. So it will be accepting the data for bowler, that is number of wickets will be accepted. Then Third, I am calling get runs method, which is under batsman class, so it will accept the runs value. So all the methods are accepted here, that is accept method is run, then get bowler method is run, and get runs method is run. All the data is accepted using these three methods. Now it is time to display all the data. So first I am calling r.display, which is inside cricketer class, that is our virtual base class. So it will display the details as name of the cricketer. Then second, I am calling r.putBowler, so it will display the bowler details, that is bowler wickets will be displayed. Then finally I am calling putSport, so it will be displaying the runs value. And finally I am calling put all rounder method on R object, so it will display the wickets and runs value. So this is how we are calling all the methods on all rounder class object. And finally getch is there to hold output screen, and return 0 is there as the main is having integer return type. So the coding is complete here. Selecting the entire code, pasting into compiler, then running the code. So first it is asking me to enter the name of cricketer, entering ABCD, then wickets of the bowler it is asking, so I am entering 56, and enter sport score, that is runs value we have to enter, so I am entering 5000. So it is displayed, name of the cricket is displayed, so which is called from the display method which is inside cricketer class. So the name is displayed, then it has displayed the bowler wickets, that is inside the bowler class, the wickets value is displayed. Then it has displayed the score, that is runs value, which is inside the batsman class. Then it has displayed the wickets and runs, which is inside the all-rounder class. So all the methods are executed successfully and the output is displayed properly. So this is how we have used the concept of virtual base class to display all the details from cricketer to all-rounder. So this is how we have completed the question number 1. Now the next question is, second question, write a C++ program to implement the concept of virtual base class for following figure, and the figure is given here, and accept the display information for one employee with his name, code, basic pay, experience and gross salary with the object of employee class. So finally we have to create the object of this class, that is employee class. So before that, let us see the structure. As we have seen in the diagram, the master class is there, then inside the master class name and code, these are the member variables given. The function names are not given, that we have to design by ourselves. Then account class is inheriting the master class, which is having basic pay as a member variable. Then admin class is also inheriting master class, which is having experience as a member variable. And finally both the account and admin class are inherited into employee class. So it creates the multiple inheritance here if you see the bottom part of the diagram. So again we are having multiple inheritance and it will create the problem of ambiguity. And the employee class is having gross salary as its own attribute. So this will be creating ambiguity problem. So for that purpose, again we have to use the virtual base class concept. So we will be creating master class as a virtual base class for account and admin. So let us move to the coding part directly. So initially both the header files are included. Then first, as given in the diagram, I am designing or defining the master class. So master class, then inside that I am taking name as a character array, then code as an integer variable. Then inside public section I am defining a method void accept, and inside the accept method I am accepting name of the master, then code of the master, and both the values are accepted using cin, and the accept function is closed. Then designing a display function, that is name of the master, code of the master as a messages, and their respective values will be attached in front of them. So the display function is displaying name and code values. Finally the class is closed. So this is our base class. Then inheriting that base class into account. So class account, again as we are using the virtual base class concept, we have to inherit that master class virtually. So class account colon virtual public master. So master class is inherited virtually into account. So all the properties of master will be inherited here, plus additionally we are adding int basic. So basic salary will be as an integer variable. Then I am defining a method get account and accepting the basic salary value, that is basic. Then defining one more method put account to display the basic value. So entering the message, that is basic pay of account, and attaching basic value. So similarly the method is closed and class is also closed. Then as given in the diagram, one more class is there, class admin, which is again inheriting master class. So again I am using virtual base class. So I am using virtual keyword here. So virtual public master. So master class will be inherited virtually into admin class. Inside admin class, experience is there as an integer variable, which is given in the diagram. Then I am defining a method called get admin. Inside that, accepting the experience value, that is enter experience as a message, then accepting exp using ceil. Then put admin method is there to display the experience value. So both the methods are closed here. Then admin class is closed here. Next we have to define the employee class, which is inheriting admin and account class. So I am defining class employee colon public account comma public admin. So this is how the account and admin, both the classes are inherited into employee. So it is having both the properties of account as well as admin class. So inside admin employee, I am taking gross as a float variable. Then void put employee is the function that I am defining. Inside that I am just putting a formula for calculating the gross salaries. So that is basic plus 7.4 into basic divided by 100.0. So this is the HRA value. So this is the calculation part, plus this is the DA values, that is 30 into basic divided by 100. So 30% of basic and 7.4% of basic, that is HRA value, and all the three values are added, and that will be the addition, and it will be the final result of gross salary. So gross will be calculated. Then after that I am just putting the gross salary as a output. So this is how the put employee function will be ended, and finally the employee class is ended. So inside employee it will be having properties of account, admin as well as master class, but in that the master class is virtual base class. So it's only single copy of its member variables as well as member functions will be inherited. So finally the main function is there. So int main, inside that I am creating object of employee class, that is employee, then calling the accept method, which is inside the master class. So it will be accepting name and code of the master. So it will be accepting name and code here using this method. Then I am calling the e.get account method, which is inside account class. So it will be accepting the basic salary. Then third I am calling e.get admin method. So it is inside the admin class. It will accept the experience value. Then all the three methods are run here and complete data is accepted. Then I am calling the e.display method, which is inside the master class. So the name and code will be displayed. Then after that calling the put account method on e object. So it will display the basic pay, that is basic salary. Then calling the put admin method, which is inside admin class, it will display the experience years. And finally calling the put employee method, which will calculate the gross salary and display the gross salary. So this is how all the methods are called here. And finally get ch is there to hold the output screen, and as the main is having integer return type, so return 0 is there to end the main program, main function. So the coding part is done here, copying the entire code, going to compiler, pasting the code and running the code. So it is asking me to enter the name of master. I am entering PQRS, in code of the master I'm entering 1212. In basic pay of account, so entering 20,000. Then enter experience years, so I'm entering 15. So all the values are accepted here. Then all the display functions are called here. So name of the master is displayed, code of the master is displayed, which is inside the master class as a display function. Then basic pay of account is displayed, which is inside the account class, and it is displaying the basic pay. Then experience years are displayed, which is inside the admin class, so the experience is displaying there. Then finally the gross salary is there, which is inside the last class, that is employee class. So this is how all the functions are run properly and the virtual base class is used here, and this is how we have completed the second question. Now moving towards the next question, which is under practical related questions. Write a C++ program to implement the concept of virtual base class for following figure. So the structure is given here. It is having a base class or a parent class as a student, which is inherited into test class and sports class. So the student class is inherited into two classes, test and sports. And after that, these two classes, which are test and sports, are inherited into result class. So here we are forming again a multiple inheritance, and in this multiple inheritance the properties of students will be repeated from test as well as sports, so which will create ambiguity again. So for that purpose we have to use the concept of virtual base class. So the structure is similar to the previous program. So directly moving to the coding part, and the data members and member functions are not given here, so we have to assume that inside our coding. So moving toward the coding part, initially including both the header files, then starting the definition of parent class, that is base class, which is class student. Inside that I am taking name as a string value, which is array of characters. Then inside public section I am defining a method accept to accept the name value, and again one more method is defined, which is display method to display the name value. So this is how the student class has ended. Next I am inheriting that student class into test class. So class test, again as we have seen, we have to use the virtual base class, so virtual public students. So we are inheriting student class into test class as a virtual base class. Then inside test I am taking integer marks, that is marks value. Then defining methods. One method is get test, which will be accepting the marks value, and second method is put test to display the marks value. So this is how the test class is completed. Then again we are inheriting student class into one more class, that is sports class. So the definition will be class sports colon virtual public student. So again we are using virtual base class concept. Then inside the sports class I am taking sports score as an integer variable. Then defining methods, one method is get sports to accept the sports score, and second method is put sport to display the sports score. So this is how both the methods are ended and class is also ended. Now we have to inherit this sports class and test class into final class, that is class result. So class result colon public test comma public sports. So this is multiple inheritance. We are inheriting test and sports properties into result class. So inside result I am directly creating one method, because all the member variables from student, test and sports are already inherited here. So I am just defining a method, that is word put result, to display the result value, and before that we have to do some calculation, that is taking integer total. Total is the integer variable to calculate the total of the marks. So is equal to marks plus sports score. So whatever the values we are accepted for marks and sports score, that will be added, and that addition will be stored into total variable, and finally displaying the total as a result value. So result is and attaching total variable. So this is how the total will be displayed. So finally the method is complete and the result class is also complete. So next part is designing a main function. So integer main, clearing the output screen, then creating one object of result class, that is the final class we have defined. So result are calling the r.accept method, which is from base class, virtual base class, then calling the second method r.getTest, which is from test class, then calling the third method, that is r.getSport, which is from sport class. So all the data is accepted using these three methods. Now it is time to display the methods, display the result. So r.display, which is from virtual base class, then r.putTest, which is from test class, and r.putSport, which is from sports class, and finally r.putResult. So it will be displaying the result value and it will display the total marks. So this is how all the methods are called for accepting the data, and the remaining methods are for displaying the data. So finally all the methods will run and respective values will be displayed. Finally getCH is there to hold the output screen, and return 0 is there to return the integer value. So finally the coding is complete. Copying the entire code, moving to the compiler, pasting the code and running the code. So it is asking me the name of the student, so I am just entering PQRS, then marks of the test I am entering 80, then sports score I am entering 75. So all the values are accepted here, and finally the name is displayed, test marks are displayed, which is from test class, then sports score is displayed, which is from sports class method, and finally result is displayed, which is from final class result, final class method. So this is how the values are accepted and the values are displayed here. So we have completed this first question of practical related questions. Now the second question is, write a C++ program to implement a given figure class hierarchy, assume suitable member variables and member functions. So again we are having the similar diagram which was in the previous program. So account class is given, which is our base class, then it is inherited to saving account and current account. So this is having account properties are inherited to saving account and current account. Then again these both classes are inherited to third class, that is fixed deposit account. So similar to previous program, the structure is same, just we have to assume the suitable member functions and member variables according to their class definition, and the concept is same here. We are going to use virtual base class concept. Again it is creating ambiguity problem because of multiple inheritance. So directly moving to the coding part, and let us see there. So opening the code, inside first we have to include both the header files. Then first I am creating the parent class, that is class account. Inside that I am taking bank name as a string value, which is array of characters. Then designing a method void accept. Inside that I am entering a message to enter the bank name and accepting the bank name. Then creating a method to display the bank name and displaying the bank name there. Then both the methods are closed and account class is complete. Then we have to inherit that account class into one more class, that is saving account. So class saving account colon virtual public account. So again we have inherited the account properties into saving account, and we have defined account as a virtual base class. So that's why we are using virtual keyword here. Then public section is opened. Inside that I am taking integer variable as balance for saving account. Then get saving is the method to accept the balance of saving account, and the value will be stored into balance variable. So this is how the get saving method will be accepting the value. Then next we are defining put saving method to display the balance value. So both the methods are done here, and saving account class is complete here. Next we have to again inherit that account class into one more class, that is current account. Again we have to use the virtual public account concept, so it will be the virtual base class. Class current account colon virtual public account. Then inside the public section taking balance variable as an integer variable. So again we are repeating the balance variable, but the classes are different here. So saving account class is different, current account class is different. So that's why it will not matter to take the same variable name. So next we are defining a method get current to accept the balance of current account. Then defining one more method to put current to display the balance of current account. So now the method is complete and class is also completed here. Next final class is there. So class fix underscore depot underscore account, that is fixed deposit account colon public saving account comma public current account. So this is forming the multiple inheritance here. We are inheriting properties of saving account and current account into fixed deposit account, and both the variables will be taken as a balance variable, so which will create ambiguity. So that's why we have used virtual base class concept here. So inside the fixed deposit account I am creating one more variable, that is balance, that is integer variable. So this balance variable will be overriding the previous balance variables which are inherited. So this balance variable is its own variable, which is for fixed deposit account class. So next we are defining a method get account. So entering the balance value to enter the fixed deposit balance, that is the message, and accepting into balance variable. Next put account method is designed to display the balance variable. So the repeated task is done again and again. So finally the class is complete here. Now creating the main function int main, first clearing the output screen, then creating object of fixed deposit account, that is FD. So inside that the account object is created, then fd.accept method is run here. So this will be running for entering the bank name of the bank. So we will be accepting the bank name. Then we are running the second method, that is fd.get saving. So it will run the method from saving account class. So it will be accepting the balance for saving account. Then running the get current method, which will be from current account class, and it will be accepting the balance for current account class. So it will be accepting the balance for current account. Then finally get account method is run, which is its own method. So it will be accepting the fixed deposit balance. So all the balance values are accepted here. First we have accepted the bank name, then we have accepted the balance of saving account, then we have accepted the balance of current account, and finally we have accepted the balance for fixed deposit. So this is how all the accept methods are run here. So finally we are displaying all the values. So first we are calling fd.display, which will display the bank name. Then I am calling fd.putSaving, which will display the balance from saving account. Then fd.putCurrent, it will display the balance from current account. And finally I am calling fd.putAccount, which will display the balance in fixed deposit. This is how all the display methods or showing methods are working here, and the remaining, that is first 4 methods are for accepting the data, and next 4 methods are to display the data. And finally getch is there to hold the output screen and returning 0 because main is having integer return type. So the coding is complete here. Copying the entire code, moving to compiler, into new file, pasting the code and running the code directly. So it is asking me to enter the bank name. So I am just entering XYZ. Then enter the balance of saving account. I am entering 50,000. Then entering the balance of current account, I am entering 80,000. Then fixed deposit balance, I am entering 70,000. So all the values are entered here, and as you see all the values are displayed here. So the first 4 statements are to accepting the values, and the remaining 4 statements are displaying all the data we have entered. So this is how we have completed this question, that is second question from practically related questions, and also the practical number 14 is completed, which was regarding virtual base class. So that's it for today's practical. I hope this helped you understand the solution clearly. Code for this practical is available at the link given in the description. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such diploma level programming solutions. If you have any doubts or need solutions for other programs, drop a comment below. I will be happy to help. And hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching and happy coding.